Η μεγάλη ημέρα έφτασε και το Flashgr βρίσκεται στο Μαραλάγκο, θέρετρο προπύργιο του Ντόναλντ Τραμπ, όπου σήμερα από εδώ θα παρακολουθήσει όλα τα εκλογικά αποτελέσματα. Ο ίδιος πρώην πρόεδρος των Ηνωμένων Πολιτειών αναμένεται να ψηφίσει όχι μακριά από το θέρετρό του εδώ στη Φλόριντα. Πρέπει να πούμε ότι τα πρώτα exit poll θα βγουν στις 2 η ώρα ξημερώματα ώρα Ελλάδος και θα έχουμε μια πολιτική εκτίμηση από τα αμερικανικά δίκτυα. Ελπίζουμε η διαφορά να είναι μεγάλη μεταξύ των δύο υποψηφίων, έτσι ώστε να μην οδηγηθούμε σε πολιτικό αδιέξοδο και να μην έχουμε τα παρατράγουδα του 2020. So who are you covering for?
I am covering for WGN TV in Chicago. My name is Jackie Bang, and we will be here until Tuesday, of course, Election Day, and maybe beyond.
So tomorrow is the big day. I assume you've been covering this for quite a while now. What's your feeling? What's your sense of where things are going?
50-50. What do you think?
Oh, I'm asking you.
Anybody's guess. The most chaotic campaign I've ever covered.
Do you see like toxicity, any chaos leading up to Election Day? Or?
Yes, yes, and yes. Absolutely.
So how do you feel like the next day is going to be, assuming either or candidate?
There is so much fear that it is going to be a lot of violence, and I certainly hope not. But I don't think we're going to know by tonight. And it could be, I covered Biden, it could be like him, 4 days. It took 4 days. Very likely
up
see
to
that.
November 7th. Absolutely.
Saturday at 9 something in the morning. I remember it. Yes.
Now you said Chicago, Illinois, right? That's,
yeah.
I assume that's a blue state.
A very blue state.
Do you see a lot of Trump support though?
We have certainly in the rural communities in southern Illinois. He definitely has support there. But in the big cities, no, I don't think so. But everything's up for grabs on this one.
And one last question. So, Kamala Harris, well, you know, obviously...
Kamala Harris.
Kamala, like
no,
he says.
Not Kamala,
like
not
says.
Kamala.
Is she presidential?
That's not my place to say.
From your journalistic, you know, from what people are telling you or her supporters, do you get the vibe that she will do something different than President Biden?
She has strong supporters. That's about all I can say. I can't give an opinion on that. You know that.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're awesome.
So you've come here all the way from Norway. Tell us a little bit about your experience covering the Trump campaign.
Yeah, my name is Inga. I work for VG, which is the biggest news outlet in Norway. I'm the US correspondent, so I am based in New York actually. So I travel from one Trump city to another. I guess that is his two homes. So we're here now in Florida because Trump will be here on Election Day. That's why we're here. It's not a swing state, this election, as you know. But it's been a chaotic year covering the presidential election. I mean, we've been doing this for a year now. I'm a little bit exhausted, but also super excited. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. No one knows who will win, or those who say they know, they don't know either. I feel as media, it's been hard to cover the Trump campaign because they deny us credential as press. So what we do is that we go as guests to his rallies. We have to wait in line for 10 hours, but we do get to touch with the MAGA base and see how they view this. With the Kamala Harris campaign, it's been a bit easier as media because we get credentials, but it's been an interesting journey.
Now, former President Trump is using a very specific rhetoric, and obviously the Europeans also, as allies, are very anxious about a potential new term. You know, he's talked about NATO or how he doesn't feel like the U.S. should be paying for what the Europeans are not paying. So tell us a little bit about Norway, actually. How do people there, from your journalistic sense, feel about a potential second Trump presidency?
Yeah, the government in Oslo, Norway, has been preparing for the possibility of a second Trump term now for a year. They weren't as prepared in 2016, so they did their job this time. They've been connecting with MAGA Republicans in Congress and in Washington, D.C. I'm sure they read Project 2025. And Norway is a member of NATO, and up until recently, Norway also had the head of NATO, General Secretary Stoltenberg. So the potential of, you know, Trump is threatening to withdraw the U.S. from the alliance. This is, of course, a big concern for Norway, and also his threats about cutting the funding to Ukraine is also a big discussion and a big concern in Norway.
He's also been talking, and this is my last question, he's also been talking to, President Putin. He's been talking to the North Korean, Kim Jong-un. Is that worrisome when you're covering it from like a political point of view, like when you're covering the campaign, that he might be talking to the so-called bad guys according to the Biden administration?
I mean, for me personally, or as a journalist, we're just covering whatever is going on, but I'm sure that for the leaders in Norway and in Europe, this is concerning. It's not traditional that a president of the United States is having discussions and friendly discussions with dictators. So of course, I believe that the whole Western world now is preparing for 4 more years with Trump, if that is what we wake up to on Wednesday or whenever this result comes. So he's a very untraditional leader. He turns everything upside down in terms of international relations, but they do have some experience since the last term, so we just have to see.
Thank you so much. You were like right on point. I love it.
Thank you.